Wanted to share some advice to a lot of Democrats out there on mainstream media. Just my personal opinion, some recommendations. I know that a lot of mainstream media has become just unbearable, unwatchable. The more and more the days go on, it seems like it's just, you gotta look elsewhere. I understand that. And I'm not picking on Nicole Wallace on MSNBC, who I do like and I respect. But on Friday, she had Neil Katyal on, and he is the lawyer who represented the small businesses in front of the Supreme Court. And when the Supreme Court struck down Trump's tariffs, he was the lawyer for those businesses. And in previous administration, he was the Solicitor General, which is the government's highest ranking lawyer to argue cases in front of the Supreme Court. So anyway, Nicole Wallace has this guy on, right? Badass work that he did, won the case for, the American people. And she was getting mad that he kind of wouldn't answer questions about, why Trump freaked out and said the things he did about the Supreme Court justices. And he kind of wouldn't answer. He's just like this, typical, just like Ivy League, like by the book, like by the norms. And, I won't go out of line, stay in my lane, which a lot of Democrats now have gotten frustrated, right? Not the fight that we're looking for. But my little piece of advice is that, that is not what his role is. And people that are Democrats, moderates, ex-Republicans, anyone who's just like an honorable patriot who's looking for a change, wants to resist this regime, we need many flanks, many different people, a little bit, all at once, all the time. So that fighter, that more combative, that's not his role, and that's fine. If he wants to be the smart, kind of more neutral, reserved, old school person who can, win cases for us at times, then that's what he's there for. Then we have other people that would be more on the attack side, and we have other people that will, do their thing. Multiple avenues, multiple flanks. That is what's needed to, to resist this. And it just seems like sometimes Nicole Wallace and them, they don't get it, or they constantly bring up Joe Rogan and the manosphere. Joe Rogan will say one thing that's somewhat critical, and they'll just go on and salivate about how oh, look at them, even they're speaking out about what's going on with immigration. And then they fail to realize that for the rest of the clip, Joe Rogan is kind of doing what he always does, this weak noodle in between, just loser that is kind of plays all sides. He's afraid to say an opinion a lot. He's afraid to maybe hurt anyone's feelings. He wants to stay cool and be relevant. And that's just internally weak, right? This dude used to tell us to eat bugs. It should never be his role to dictate domestic policy. So we got to look elsewhere. Stop highlighting that and let everyone do their own thing in their own role.